reports the proceedings have somewhat surprisingly been cloaked in controversy over selection for Australia's Olympic qualifying squad to play in Kuwait later this year.
In Canberra brings together the best volleyballers from all states of Australia. In addition to the honour of being National League champions, another incentive has been the chance of being selected in the Australian team to compete in Kuwait. But no matter how well they've performed this week, some of the nation's best players won't even be considered for that team.
When the decision was announced, well, we just thought it was another one of those policy decisions that was going to be changed.
Do you feel that because you're here, that you should be able to be included in the side?
Well, as a player, you get frustrated because you like to see Australia being represented by the best players in the country.
South Australia, for several years Australia's strongest volleyball state, won't be represented in the national team because of a ruling of the Australian Volleyball Federation made while they were representing their country at a world tournament in Greece. Having made their commitment to the world tournament, they were unable to attend their own national championships. But in the meantime, the Federation had made attendance at the nationals compulsory for selection in the Australian team.
What has happened is that the regulation which required players to play at national championships was taken last March '86 and related to selection for the Asian men's and women's programs which have occurred during '86 and '87. The men's program is still to be completed in Kuwait in October this year. And therefore the lead-up program or the lead-up time which was needed to prepare the team certainly took at least 12 months, and their failure to attend the championships in Brisbane last August therefore made them ineligible for selection.
The squad was picked 14 months ago and they've trained once and they're going in October. There's no reason why they couldn't be picked from this nationals. Pick the best team. I'm not saying just include South Australia. Pick the best team Australia's got to offer. To me that makes sense.
Making sense from the dilemma has also been hard for the South Australian women's team, whose players were also left at home when the national team competed in their Olympic qualifying tournament in China.
To us, it just seems that South Australia was discriminated against.
So how many of the South Australian women would have been in that Australian team?
Well, I would have said at least 8 would have been in the squad, and at least 6 would have been in the team, at least.
We're not going to be as strong as perhaps we would, but I guess when you're talking about an important principle, the commitment of players and states even to a national elite program and a national domestic competition, then you've got to forfeit something somewhere along the line.
How much damage do you feel this is doing to volleyball in Australia?
Oh, speaking personally, it's becoming increasingly hard to be enthusiastic. As I say, we commit ourselves each year to certain tournaments and so on, and when you get a letdown like this, it really sort of drains your enthusiasm for the game.
How do you heal the rift with South Australia?
I think the rift has been healed. I think the players themselves have accepted the regulation. I think the administrators have. 10
years of volleyball I've played, and I can't understand why they've never, ever sent the best team away.
Can't understand it either. In the national volleyball finals in Canberra last night, South Australia defeated Victoria in both the men's and women's championships, the men's 3-0, the women's 3-1. Before the national selectors named their team for the Olympic qualifying tournament in Kuwait, and as expected but not welcomed, no South Australians